All right, this is the final story of the evening.
Right.
This is about these girls playing with they
Son, be easy. Son.
with themselves. About the ladies playing with themselves on the internet for money, and why
and it only costs $11.99 a month.
much less, $3.99 in some cases.
Okay.
And they're talking about the true cost, what it truly cost.
Hello, my dears. For a long time, OnlyFans was viewed as the women's get-rich-quick scheme. And the myth that OF
Can men
is
do
an
it?
easy way to make money still...
No,
men can't do that?
Dick pics is worthless.
Oh, why?
Nobody wants. You gotta take them all the time. You gotta.
All right.
seems to linger today, with reports stating that some female students have admitted that they would turn to OF if money was tight. We've also heard that it's apparently empowering and it allows women to take control of their sexuality while simultaneously freeing them from the more exploitative sides of the patriarchal sex industry. But now with so many young girls joining the platform, we don't really need to speculate about the potential harms or consequences, because now they are taken to the internet to share with us themselves exactly what the costs have been for them for joining this platform. Firstly, no, it definitely is not easy money. In fact, the average creator makes less than $200 a month. Now that it's become a lot more saturated because more people know about it, there's a lot more competition. Add on top the fact that there are high profile influencers as well as celebrities joining the platform, and it just generally makes it very difficult for your average woman to succeed.
That's got to be the worst.
How so?
That's got to be the worst. When you did everything and you got to put yourself all online and then still don't make no money.
$200 a month.
It just.
I mean, well, no, man, that might be a lot to somebody.
Know your worth. What you bring to the table.
Have you shaved?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes, it's like when people talk about, well, when women, I hate to, and I'm not one of those guys that dog pile on women, but when women talk about their value, when they bring to the table and all this other stuff, and blah, blah,
But
blah.
you turn to OnlyFans.
And you turn to OnlyFans, and then to only be able to pull, because a lot of it is work. You think you just lay on your back and you know, do what you want to do. You still got to promote it.
I guess so.
You still got to get it out there. It's not as easy as you think.
Still gotta go to the sex store and buy some utensils and gadgets and apparatuses
and line them up behind you like awards.
We don't.
Especially now that a lot of social media apps have become a lot more strict. So it's made it a lot more difficult for people to promote their profiles. So if you're thinking, damn, money is tight, why don't I just flash for some cash? Honestly, you are much better off finding whatever minimum wage job you can get your hands on, because one, it will pay you more, and two, it will come with less of the consequences. So let's actually talk about those consequences, shall we? No, I'm not going to bore you with the stuff that we hear all the time, like how it's going to affect your dating life or how it carries a lot of social stigma. I know that you know. I'm much more interested in discussing the sides that are probably less discussed. Like, since we are on the topic of money, I think that someone who is considering doing OF as a way to up their salary or up their income because their job isn't paying them enough should probably reconsider that, because in some cases there have been, or many cases rather, a lot of people who have tried to join OF in order to try and increase their monthly earnings have actually been discovered by their employers, and as a result have actually lost their job, which puts them in an even worse.
Man, that's bad.
Now you make less money because you had your $200 a month. And they fired you. People get fired from social media all the time. It was a titty jiggling.
What?
It was a recent titty jiggling. People got fired from Chick-fil-A for jiggling their titties.
I don't know anything.
And they make no dollars a month.
We don't know that.
Men's and women's. Everybody was jiggling their titties. And Chick-fil-A, they believe in Jesus. They was like, no titty jiggling in here. No.
Financial position than before they started. Another thing to also consider that a lot of people think they can get around is your family finding out about your content. Not only finding out, but in some cases even subscribing. Stepfathers have subscribed, or their dad's friends.
Have you recognized any of the names in here of people that you might know?
Oh, because you got to use your card.
I don't know, so I'm not on OnlyFans, but that's Sarah. Oh my God. Let me go ahead and put this $4 in there real quick. Get my card. So,
Williams.
It's not cool, son.
Yeah, definitely. There's been some guys that outwardly say we used to go to school together. Wow. Or some of dad's friends and.
Yeah, but that's your schoolmates. You know they gonna subscribe. As soon as they find out.
Her dad's friend, son. That's not cool.
No, it's not cool at all. But I'm just saying, who do you think is going to subscribe in the beginning? Nobody knows you. You just a random naked lady. It's a bunch of them on the internet. That's what I mean by driving down the price of what was once considered sacred.
Not no more.
You know what I mean?
Stuff like that.
What messaging you?
Yeah. I just tried to keep it very professional.
Yeah, it's all quite weird, isn't it? And I think it is also important to remember that there are all sorts of characters on the internet, and there are some people who are spiteful enough to find out who your family are and actually deliberately send them this type of content. This is something that...
Right, because if you want to do good, you got to reach a bunch of people. Yeah. And it's only a matter of time that some of them is going to be weird or want to hurt you or...
Damn. It's crazy.
And you showing your everything.
Right.
Many creators have discussed happening to them. One creator is Lily Phillips. She's been candid about the fact that her parents, in particular her dad, has been sent content that she's posted on her OF page.
Has someone ever messaged your dad besides Aunt Sarah?
Yes. I mean, my dad's had, like, my own nudes sent to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Videos, papers, news articles, phone calls.
What does he say? Like, does he message you like, yo?
No, it was more of a tearful phone call.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate seeing that.
Okay.
I do think that
She think it's funny.
As being a father, it's super uncool. It's super uncool. She said a tearful. It's more like he's probably embarrassed, man. That's his baby. I don't care how old she get. That's still his baby.
And people sending this shit to him. People are being selfish. These ladies it's just
They don't care.
They don't care. Really, they trying to make that bag. They really don't care.
$200 a month.
They're trying to get past that point.
Oh.
He's like, but did you share it, Dad?
Son, don't say that, son.
become more and more successful and well known on the platform, this kind of stuff is just way more likely to happen to you. And so I do think that if anyone was to try and join the platform, they should go in it with the assumption that your family, especially your parents, are going to find out. Speaking of Lily Phillips, Stacey Dooley actually did a documentary on her, and I found it really interesting because we got to meet her parents. Listening to her parents share how they feel about what she does was actually quite hard to watch, because it was like listening to an intervention for a drug addict as their parents beg them to stop what they're doing while telling them how it's harming them. Except the problem is the addict is not yet ready to sober up. Within the documentary, her parents expressed their desperation for her to stop what she was doing, stating that they would give her anything if it could make her stop doing the extreme stunts that she was doing, even going as far as to offer to sell their house and give her the money if it's money that is motivating her to stay in this line of work. But all their...
She breaking their heart.
She breaking their hearts, son. You're right, like, man. If the parents have access to it, like you just said, everybody's got access. Other family members, like you said, his co-workers, her moms. Let's say her mom's is a member of a book club, church, whatever. They like, yo, we heard about your daughter, man.
Like, please stop doing this. We'll sell the house.
He said it's an intervention. She said it seemed like an intervention.
Please, unfortunately, do land on deaf ears, as Lily does make it very clear that she has no intention of stopping, although she does acknowledge that her choice is selfish.
Sometimes I guess it just makes me feel quite selfish to put my parents through that. I mean, ultimately, it is selfish.
Is it easier to just not talk about? Yeah, it's just easier not to talk about it because then no one gets upset.
Exactly. And so when I'm around my parents, it's so wholesome. We don't even talk about work. We're just back to like...
It's not work. She says, they don't talk about what do you do?
Sex work is work.
It's not.
It's like a plant. They sex work. You go down there and just,
Not like a plant, man. She lay across the bed. She probably do. I don't know what she does.
Off 30 dicks. Dude, that's a lot of dicks.
Yeah. So it's dudes in there. They not just doing solo. They doing a little bit of everything on OF.
You can do whatever you want.
Oh man, I don't know. I've never been on OF.
And what I'm saying is, people subscribe and you make whatever video you want, whatever level of corn or some people legit like if you're a celebrity. Mm-hmm. You can probably have one where you just talk and it's like
the Stacey Dash.
Yeah, exclusive lives, and and people thought they was gonna come in there and get something. Yeah. But you can post whatever you want. Is the point. So who knows what she doing? But
again, she's embarrassing her parents. You can hear it in their voice.
Yeah. I don't know to what level she's going, but yeah, probably hardcore though. Guessing.
What's she crying for?
It's quite clear based on how upset she is that this is probably not something she really actually thought about. I doubt that she actually considered how this could affect the people she loves. I think for many young women who join this industry, they might have considered the consequences when it comes to themselves, but they often don't think about how those consequences will extend to the people they love. Because
just don't care.
Ultimately, we are living in a time where people say, do whatever.
She'd rather just not come around. Or when she come around, just don't talk about it, like she said.
Just slide him a little envelope with money. This I made this 2 days ago. Yeah,
I made $200. This is $17.
Hopefully, this will make it better.
I think she's a big name, but whatever. But it must, and that's what I mean. It must be even worse for the girl who's getting it, who's not popping off. So probably the only people that know about it are your parents and your friends
and coworkers.
That's that's terrible.
But we don't exist in a vacuum. So although you might be signing yourself up for things while you understand the consequences for yourself, it's also important to remember that the consequences don't end with you. But to be honest, even if Lily was to quit, there's no guarantee that her parents would stop experiencing all of this harassment, as we've learned from other creators like Nala Ray.
Like on the outside of that, there are huge.
We've seen her before. She crazy.
She got the little head disease. She not that smart.
What, like Zika?
She had like head is the same size as your neck. Is the same size as everything straight down.
No, man. She just how she built. But I seen her do this. She do the igga digga whatever they do. You know how they do this? She get money.
She get money. She do the iggy flick like she.
You know how they make like noises? They don't even really speak. She like put like cat ears on or something.
Was she doing a BJ? Or you just saying when she talk?
I've seen her face before. This girl is popular right here. But she talking about her parents, her folks right now.
Okay.
Consequences to your actions, like the amount of people that have like.
Her voice kind of deep. You can't trust deep voices these days.
Sent me and my husband death threats. The amount of people who have sent my husband things from my past consistently week by week is like so hard for him to deal with. And then for me to be like ashamed about, because I'm constantly being reminded of the things I've done when I just want to live. I'm out of it now. I know I'm out of it, but yet I keep getting brought back to that because of ignorant people on the internet wanting to remind me.
Why they gotta be ignorant?
No, because of what you did in your past.
Right.
She ain't think about it. And I'm not saying she younger here, but whatever you did in your past will come forward in the future. So now you married, and now you feel like, people sending stuff to your husband and sending things.
You're a Christian now. You done changed your life. What you thought was going to happen?
Out of here, man. Nobody want to hear that. We ain't got no pity for you.
That's the eternal damnation.
That's all a part of it.
Of the consequences that I deserve now, in their head.
Deserve nothing.
I did it.
I'm just saying, when the people logged on and paid for their pictures or whatever, they didn't pay for them just for until you felt like not doing them.
You're right. It's forever. It's on the internet. It's forever.
Minerals do all the work. Trace Mineral drop.
What I also did find really interesting about listening to Lily Phillips' parents is they offered some extra nuance into this rising trend that we've seen of these OF girls saying how their parents support them and what they're doing. And Lily is one of these creators who used to say that her parents are very supportive of her. They say within the documentary that what they thought she was doing was just posting kind of the pictures that a lot of girls post on Instagram. Lingerie, bikini shoots. And I guess they probably didn't see a problem with that because they essentially just viewed it as glamour modeling. I mean, after all, they
didn't know she was doing hardcore.
I don't know what they knew.
A lot of mainstream high-end fashion models who pose like that and who have those kind of photo shoots. So I guess they probably didn't see it as distasteful. And Lily herself also admits that she definitely downplayed what she was doing and she wasn't entirely honest with her parents about the extent of the kind of content she was posting online. However, as she became a bit more infamous because of her stunts, they inevitably found out what she was doing and they weren't very happy about it. And so I do wonder if this could be the more realistic circumstance of some of these parents who we hear are apparently supportive. Are they truly supportive, or are they just not aware of what OF actually is? And so they might not really think of it as anything more than just being a YouTuber. Then I imagine you have the parents like Lily Phillips's parents who don't approve of what she's doing and have gone as far as to try and get her to stop. However, if they don't want to stop, you're kind of forced into making two choices. You either have to just unfortunately tolerate it, because the alternative is to potentially be estranged from your daughter. Because it's not uncommon for people to end up not speaking to their parents because they fall out over the fact that they're doing this kind of content. But there are...
Would you fall out?
What, with my baby?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I would approve of it. I don't know. I've never been put in a position like that. I don't want to make the assumption or make that decision right now. So I wouldn't say that.
It would be hard for me to be around her knowing that.
If your baby girl was an OF fan and she was doing it strictly for money, and you came to her and was like, "Look, we're giving you an alternative,"
especially if it's coming to me. People sending me stuff.
Yeah, that's
gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one.
Of course, those parents that are the exception who actually genuinely do support their daughter in doing this, like Bonnie Blue's mum, for example. I saw her Channel 4 documentary, and it was quite interesting to hear Bonnie Blue's mum say that she basically essentially believes that everybody's morals and values would take a nosedive into hell if they were offered £1 million. I personally think that's more of a projection, but, you know, it's quite clear that
she's talking about herself.
Does support her daughter because of the fact that she understands just how lucrative this is.
And her daughter giving her money, probably.
Quite interesting because
she probably blessing her.
Bonnie Blue is like the most...
Yeah, she a big one. She a big one. I've seen, but they give her brand new Ferraris and all that. Yeah.
She's also the most honest of the harlot class.
Okay, good one, son. You did good with that, son. I like that, son. Yeah, I like that, son, because I know it'll slide right easy.
Right, yeah. Anyway, if you want to see more of that video, it's called "This is the True Cost of OnlyFans." It's from Patience Zena. I believe I'm pronouncing her name right.
Patience Zena.
That's it. That's pretty much the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please turn on your notifications
so you know when we drop. Hey, yo, 92 strong, baby.
Yeah, shout out to y'all, yo. Thank you for hanging out.